comment. Oh, we will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Clocker fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of Ashland High School Baseball. Today, the Ashland Clockers are taking on the Bellingham Blackhawks over at Ashland High School. And we're getting set up, and they're going to schedule for a 4 o'clock start time. We'll see how close they get to that, and we'll be ready to go. Stay tuned.
Okay,
Test, 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 test.
1, 2, dibba-dibba-doo. Hello, hi. Testing it out. Testicle audio.
You're live.
Okay, thank you.
So I hear ourselves, but I don't see where you monitor yourselves on levels in here. It's capture 3. Capture 3. Capture 3. Capture 3.
It would be the camera one, because it's all just coming through the camera.
Capture 3. Capture 3. Capture 3.
So I don't think she comes in as anything. It's not an audio capture device. It's just with video captures.
Oh, there it is.
Right.
You still got to bring it in as a separate audio device, even though it's
Oh, you know?
embedded with HDMI.
It's interesting.
But there it is at the top.
Okay.
I'll let you do your graphics thing.
This graphics open. Graphics is not open or on.
Okay. Let's see.
Is that added into this thing? I forget now. In other words,
So
CG1.
Yeah, so the CG1 actually needs to be dragged to the top. I don't know how it got dragged to the bottom. I see do that.
What do you mean up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then double click it and see where.
Check my battery.
So where do you want us to stand? Like right here? Or
So wherever you can
against-
go.
against the fence?
Yeah, there's not a whole ton of. We don't have these all extended, so you're basically underneath the tent with me here. How you doing, Bill? Good to see you.
I'm
Jeff.
Jeff.
Jeff Hall. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet
Thank
you.
you for coming down today.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. Hi, John.
The outside one can go a little further. This could go to. This could be as far as out here.
Yeah.
If you'd rather be. It's
Do
up to you.
you want to stand on the fence, or do you want to stand back here?
You want to stand up a little bit? I'm like not confident in my eyesight right
Okay,
now.
so just like if you want to go that way,
Yep.
we'll just put this. Sorry, there's not a lot of choke on these.
Wherever we decide
Yeah, this.
will be.
Yeah, that's.
For
At least you're
couple
underneath.
hours.
Yeah, you're gonna be. It could be hot. So.
It's a good idea with a tent, huh?
Well, we had to have something. Normally they have the grandstand thing, but it just wasn't here. We're down here, so. Had to whip out the tent.
You ready to start?
We're live.
We're live.
Yeah.
We are live. Okay.
Careful, the mics are on. It's coming.
Quick check.
Check. You're good.
I think we have to sign in on this, Paul. Is it WACA?
Go use the Safari. Should ours be started?
Okay, that's
Just want to turn the volume down a little bit.
You good? How's that sound? You okay?
That's yeah. You can
Okay.
be good.
Yep.
Without being too loud and obnoxious.
Yeah. Does that affect the sound input? The volume that's coming through the head?
no, they're separate.
Okay.
Okay. So good to go.
Yes, sir.
2 minutes before 4. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Ashland High School Varsity Baseball here on WACA-TV, your exclusive home for Ashland High School sports. Today's Tri-Valley baseball matchup features your Ashland Clockers taking on the Bellingham Blackhawks. I'm George Shubin, bringing you tonight's action from the Ashland High School baseball field, adjacent to Ashland High School in Ashland, Mass, as you'd expect. And I'm here with the one and only John LaRoe.
Good afternoon, George. It's good to be here with you.
Great to be here, too. I think the last game we had, we were frozen.
Slightly different weather conditions. Yeah, it was overcast. I can't believe it was much more than 35 degrees, probably a little bit less with the wind chill, but today, beautiful, mid-70s, nice cool breeze. Just the sky is dotted with a couple of clouds, and we're in for a good day of baseball, I believe.
All right, so we're midway through the high school baseball season, and after 11 games, the Clockers now stand at 4 wins and 7 losses. As of Tuesday, the Clockers were ranked number 52 out of 71 teams in the MIAA Division III Power Rankings. Only the top 32 teams make it into the playoffs, so the Clockers have a lot of work to do to make it in there for the rest of the season. You can see we're underway here, but the Bellingham Blackhawks, who Ashland is facing, now has a record of 1 win and 8 losses, and are ranked number 42 in the MIAA Division IV Power Rankings as of Tuesday. Ashland is desperately looking for a win today, and they're facing a struggling Division IV team, which hopefully will bode well for the Clockers.
That's a drop third strike, and they get a throw down to first for the first out.
That was they froze a little bit high. It was a good job getting back on the base.
Yeah. Got away a little bit there, George. So had to take the throw on the outside of the line there. Yep.
All right. So we got the number 2 batter for Bellingham up. We have who do we have in the round today, John?
Ryan Viscotti. He's a center fielder.
And pitching for Ashland is Jared Grunbaum.
Yeah, Grunbaum eats up a lot of innings for Ashland. And gets a ground out from 5-3 there. Easy play there for Devin O'Brien to get it over to looks like Chris Bradica at first base.
Yes. Yeah, Grunbaum has some good some curves, some change-ups. He mixes a fastball in, but he's got a lot of movement on his ball, doesn't he?
He does. Yep, good. Fastball, off speed, selection. When he makes good selection. When he's hitting this strike zone, he like I said, he eats up a lot of innings for him.
Yeah.
That one's fouled back out of play.
Okay. Ball's fouled out of play down the first baseline. Basically get lost in a thick woods here at the Ashland High School baseball field.
There's the off-speed pitch you're talking about there, George.
Yeah. That's in there for a strike. Looking at 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one's down low. Luke O'Brien behind the plate back there, doing a good job stopping that ball in the dirt.
Yep. Another one in the dirt there, George.
Yeah. Luke's getting his hockey goalie practicing.
Yeah.
Not that he plays goalie.
Or hockey?
No.
He's an athlete, though. We talked about that the last game. The number of guys on this team who are playing more than one sport, and they bring that athleticism to the baseball field. Yeah,
Luke part of the football team, suffered an injury, unfortunately, through the season, but I don't think he was able to come back. Or maybe did he come back for the last few games?
For football, I don't believe he did.
No.
It was a question of whether he'd be able to come back in time for the baseball season. I believe it was a question of, still feeling it in the collarbone there and the shoulder. But he's able to fight through that the first few games, and I think he's, more or less in a groove here now.
Yeah, at this age, a lot of kids just want to come back and play, but they don't think about their long-term health. So I think I'd rather err on the side of making sure you're completely 100% healthy versus trying to push it for.
Get him there.
That was a good throw over.
Yeah. It's called safe.
Yeah, Jared also, he has a good move to first base, I think. He's, for a right-handed pitcher, I think he does as good as anybody I've seen on the team.
Yeah.
It's a good shot right to
Michael Schreiber, the shortstop, takes it himself.
So there we go. That's bottom of the first inning. No runs. Still 0-0 as we go to the bottom of the first. So while we have a little break here, John.
Sure.
So what's your take on the Clarker season so far?
Yeah, I mean, the last time we spoke, George, back during the grafting game, that was, I think, their first win of the season. So they started off 0-3, and since then, a decent 500 record since then. They're now 4-7. I know, speaking with Coach earlier, that's one of the things that he talked about is how they've kind of turned things around, or they're in the process of turning the corner. They'd really like to get this one today, and evidence that they've got the train rolling and going in the right direction. So definitely moved a couple of guys around, still trying things here and there that I can see. I think guys are starting to fall into position in terms of where they'll expect to play, where coach is starting to see them in their, position of highest value, or guys who are of highest value in this specific position. So, we're in for a good one here today to see how that plays out and see how the coaching strategy plays out, George.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a lot of times, especially for this team, I think probably for all teams, there wasn't a lot of time between, the kind of first practice and first game. And some of the kids are, coming off of other sports, as you say.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the kids are in there practicing hitting, and baseball's their sport. They don't do a winter sport.
Yeah.
So to get kind of everybody on the same page and get all the rust off and start to get their heads in baseball mode.
Yeah.
Depending upon how many kids you have in your team that are doing winter sports, it could be harder or easier if you're to get things going. So hopefully that's where we stand now.
Yeah, everybody's kind of in the groove. They've taken enough repetitions, that familiarity with reading pitchers, that familiarity with reading ground balls or fly balls, coming in and out of the season. You take for granted as a fan of the game of baseball that all these guys are it's just second nature to them. It's not necessarily at this level, like you say, if they're coming off a season playing basketball, playing hockey, it's not always, it takes some breaking in. Each season.
Yeah. We got Chris Braddock leading off here.
Yeah, Chris is probably their top hitter, and he's going against the Hawks' best pitcher here, Peyton Young. He's up there in the Tri-Valley League in terms of ERA, in terms of strikeouts. He's talking with Coach TJ Chaponi. He's their top guy.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the stats for Tri-Valley, and believe it or not, Chris Braddock leads the Tri-Valley League in strikeouts with 37 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And Peyton Young is actually number 2.
Okay, there you go.
Tri-Valley with 36. He's got one less than Braddock. In fact, because Braddock is not pitching today, he has a chance to move ahead of him here.
Yep.
And Chris is at bat, and he's going to make sure that doesn't happen. Oh,
Yeah, well.
it just happened to him. Now they're tied.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Jeez. I guess I shouldn't have said anything. I kind of jinxed the whole situation.
That's okay. Chris will want that one back. He's seen him now, so we'll see his second time through how that matchup plays out.
Yeah.
I think we've got we got one guy on the roster card here and another guy in the box. This looks like Oliver LaRoe at the plate. Swinging early in the count there. Yeah, aggressive swing.
Yeah. Peyton seems like he throws some heat. 1-1.
Ball's down in the dirt. Just a good transition there by that shortstop.
Yeah, very good play there by
Yep.
Sam Elliott. No, not Sam Elliott. Brock Barry.
Brock Barry, yeah. Yeah.
I think Brock Barry is another one of the better players.
Yeah.
He's good. Ranked pretty high in batting average. And now it looks like Devin O'Brien is at bat.
Yep, and he gets a good piece here, George.
Good piece, but right at the left fielder. I thought that ball was sinking fast, and it just didn't sink fast enough.
Nope. Good contact there, and I think that the last time we did a game, George, it seems like kind of repetitive, or at least the approach here today is a little bit of the same by Coach Messer. He's got a couple of those guys swinging early in the count and really attacking the ball. So we'll see if that produces offense here today.
Yeah. The Clockers seem to, I have to look up the stats, but they seem like they're making good contact.
Yeah.
Not a lot of strikeouts, but a lot of good, getting the bat and the ball. Unfortunately, a lot of fly balls or, ground balls right to the position players. But, first thing you got to do is get the ball in play.
Yes.
So at least that's happening.
Yeah, that's what we've seen, game in. Some of their top guys, they're still, top in, I guess, some of the efficiency or production stats offensively, maybe just not on a batting average, okay, percentage-wise, George. They are hitting the ball, so maybe they're getting on base with an error of fielder's choice. They're moving guys along, but a lot of balls. Yep, just not finding the grass in the outfield or not getting through the infield. Yep.
Yeah. But certainly, improving from the first couple of games.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Top of the second inning.
Yeah, this is the shortstop, Brock Barry. Just made the play to finish the bottom of the first there.
That ball's low. Yeah, that's a foul. So we got 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Barry.
Just outside. Good pick there by the catcher, Luke O'Brien.
Two and two.
Just up.
Just up. Luke was trying to frame it.
Yep. Yep.
He had me fooled. That's on the ground right to
Chris Bartica.
Easy out,
first
so
down.
one,
Yep.
one out here.
Yep, that's what Grunbaum will get you. With those breaking balls low in the zone, he'll get balls in the dirt that you can get over to first base there for the out. So
There's a foul tip there.
Really just the batter.
Hit somebody. I don't know who.
that went right back off of Luke, or if that's off the umpire there.
Yeah.
I think he's I think it's off the umpire. He's just gonna walk that off a little bit and.
Up at bat is Nicholas Fantini.
Yeah, that's not bad.
He gets a piece of it. Is that going to drop?
That's a diving catch right there. What a play.
That was a great catch by.
Unbelievable. That's Ian, and he's made a few catches here this year, George, that have been, like, not to rank the whole team or, but he's one of their top outfielders, the way he's played this year. He's made some spectacular catches like that, coming in, diving, some over the shoulder, going back over the opposite shoulder that we've seen when watching the game, George, if you recall. And so that's just a great play.
And Iarusi at bat now. He's quickly down 0-2. And that's outside for a ball. That ball's ripped.
That's in the gap. Let's see who can get here. Wow, that's a great play. Who's that?
That was a great catch. That was, I think that was that Ollie LaRoe kid.
Never heard of him. Yeah, so that's both good communication there. So if you're Bellingham, those are just bad breaks. You hit into some of the better outfielders out in the field who track the ball well. Obviously, good communication right there too to make sure they're not running as full steam right into each other.
Yeah, that usually doesn't end well. Yes, one thing I thought I'd share. I was looking at some stats.
Yeah.
On Max Preps, and
yep.
Interestingly, Chris Braddock up to a few minutes ago led the league, the Tri-Valley League, in strikeouts.
Yeah.
With 37. Now Peyton Young, I think, has 37. I don't know if you got another one.
Yep.
And there's another pitcher on Bellingham that actually is number 11 in strikeouts. So they got a couple of good pitchers there.
Yeah.
Braddock is also ranked number 17 in ERA with a 2.66 ERA.
Yeah.
Then when you look on the other side, when it comes to batting average, the top Ashland player again is Chris Braddock, who's
Yep.
ranked number 22. He's batting .333.
Yep.
Bellingham has a player, that Brock Berry, who you mentioned earlier.
Yep.
He's also ranked number 22 with a .333 batting average.
Yeah.
What I thought was interesting is in Tri-Valley,
Yeah.
there's 11 kids that are batting over 400.
Wow.
And there's one, I think, a kid from Norwood who's batting .577.
Yeah. Well, it goes to some of the stuff that we were talking about before the game with Coach, and I don't know if either of the coaches ascribe to it, but, smaller schools playing in a division with bigger schools, being, competing against the bigger schools, and, that's one stat you can tell, that there's some big players out there that these guys have to go up against 2-3 times a week, so it's one of the reasons, word that's coming out of both sides of both dugouts, coaches is the compete level. We're going to have to compete to do well today, and that's how their players are measured. So
that's interesting. The Tri-Valley League is a league of schools in the area, but it kind of overlaps the divisions. And divisions are based on school size and records and things like that. And you can be in Division III and play teams in Division II, Division I, Division IV.
Yep.
Or worse, you could be in Division IV and have to play Division I, II, and III teams.
Yeah.
If they happen to be in Tri. I don't think Tri-Valley has any Division I. In baseball, I don't think they do. I know in hockey, I think there are, but.
Yeah.
All right, Michael Schreiber at bat. He's 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah.
A hard foul ball there.
Another one of the underclassmen for Coach Messer, and he's actually moved into the 4-hole for today. He's usually up second or third.
I think Michael Schreiber's been playing great ball. I mean, both I think behind the plate and on the field.
Yep.
And that ball gets through. Hard hit ground ball to the shortstop, but bouncing. And it just got over his glove.
Yep, that's a tough hop. That's a tough hop to handle right there. And I don't know if you can put on the shortstop on that one. That's a hard driven ball, like you say, and Michael can put some pepper on the ball. That he's probably top 2, 3 in offensive statistics for the team, because he is able to make really good contact with the ball.
So we got Michael Schreiber on first. It looks like Nolan Soderberg.
Yep.
He's at bat. He took the first strike. Tied for a ball. I think the game on Monday, I think Nolan had like 3 hits in the game. He had a very good game.
Yeah.
All right, 1-1.
Got a big lead there on first, and there he goes, looking for the back pick. No, he comes back.
I'm surprised he didn't get the throw there.
Yeah, either way, before the pitch or from the catcher. I mean, he's got a real healthy lead over there.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Ball's on the ground.
It's a double play ball.
Yeah, that's in time.
That's in time. That was just in time.
Yep. Right. Just to the left of the shortstop, so he's moving towards second. A quick flip, and Eric Johnston able to get it over to first to
for the double play.
to Fontani. Yep, Fantini.
Yeah, the depth is deceiving from where we're standing. I thought the shortstop was closer to the bag, was going to touch and throw it over, but apparently he was further away than it looks here.
Yeah.
Pitch is high to Ian. I got 1-1.
Did he call him safe there, George, at first?
Oh, I guess he did. Maybe you beat that out.
Surprising. Where we're located is right down the right field line. We're on the outside of the fence and looking right down at it, so we can kind of see that a good both Brock Barry and Eric Johnson, really good transition ball from the glove and to throw, and I'd have put money that he had him there at first, at least giving it to him. Yeah.
That ball's in the air, foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Throw it to first. Yeah, Young mixing up the time he's taking, trying to keep Soderberg guessing over there on first base.
Yeah.
And you can see Soderberg's taking a slightly, not quite the lead that
Schreiber
had.
Yeah.
Is that in play? That's way up in the air. Third baseman's under that.
Drops it.
He dropped it. Did he drop it on transition?
I would say not, and
No.
he's not calling the out. So,
No.
and it looks like it's in foul play when he touches it. So,
Yeah.
Again, we're in a little bit of a tough location to see that play, but it's clear he was out of. He's in foul territory when he attempted to make that catch.
Yeah, I was very lucky.
It's
Now,
coming
there's
at us
another
here,
fly
George.
ball
This one's for you.
Right into left, right
Yep.
into right field. It's kind of an easy catch. He didn't have to move too much to get under that ball.
No. Good track by Douglas Walton.
We got 2 away now.
It looked like Ian was under a lot of those pitches there on that at bat.
Aiden Cowan here at bat. Aiden's a senior.
Aiden's playing right field there for them today.
Strike.
Yeah, he waves through that one.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Good.
A hit and run going on there, but it's a foul.
Yep.
No one got himself up to speed.
Yep.
I wouldn't want to be the second baseman that stands in front of him when that ball's coming down.
You know, talking with Coach Chiappone, he's got a young crew here, and some of them are giving up a little bit of size here to the seniors on the Ashland team. So yeah, you don't want to be on the wrong side of that play.
Yeah, there goes
He's
Nolan
going.
again. The ball's
Oh,
in
hit
the
and
air.
run.
High fly ball. First baseman. Oh, that ball is missed. It's in the glove of the second baseman who ran over to try to get it.
Boy, that's a tough
And
play.
then it popped out of his glove.
Yeah. Yep, George. That is probably one of the, believe it or not, that's not a deep shot, and it's not a necessarily very high shot either. But it's one of the toughest plays, especially at this level, to defend. Typically, you want a first baseman to defer to the second baseman, and that second baseman calling it all the way. And it looked like you had Nick Fontini there kind of tracking the ball a little bit and backed out of the way a little bit late, such that Eric had to make a diving play and not able to grip the ball.
Yeah, second baseman had to come over, if was it 90 feet between the bases?
Yes, yeah.
Like 70.
Yeah, yep.
70 feet ran over where I think the first baseman had to go backwards, so he was also in a very tough angle.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously a long way for Douglas Walton to come from right field. So, you had Nolan Soderberg kind of pinching the middle infielders in to cover that second base. So, to your point, a long way to travel.
Let's see if Ashland, not really two errors, but we had the drop foul ball on third base, but that ended up being an out, and then we just had a drop fly ball there.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are the things that Ashland has to take advantage of. Finn Connery up at bat. I think he's 2-0. Quickly ahead on a count. Now we could be very selective. Actually, no, it's 1-1 on a count. Hard hit ball to second base, but right to him, right to first base. So here's the third out. Bottom of the second. Score still 0-0.
Yep, Eric redeemed himself there with a good play on a hard-driven ball.
Yeah. So we had a chance to talk also to Coach Messer before the game.
Yeah.
Some of his thoughts on the season and how it's progressing and where they stand and what they need to do. What were some of the interesting things he mentioned there?
Yeah, I think we touched on it a little bit, George. Is you're kind of getting the train rolling and getting the reps so that kind of seeing balls through offensively and eliminating some of the errors and having a compete mindset, which it's maybe a little bit cliche, but like we talked about, coming against some of the teams in this league. Maybe you don't have the roster that's going to overpower a guy. I mean, you've got a couple of good pitches here, but it's not, deep all the way through the bullpen, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, on the defensive plays we've seen so far in the outfield, the first two innings, or the base running that we're seeing out of displayed there with Schreiber and Soderberg. they've got to compete, find ways each play to make each play a chance to get an out, make each play a chance to move a guy at least one base, and you stay on that for 21 21 outs through the 7-inning game, then you give yourself a chance.
One of the things I've noticed from the first few games that there's a marked improvement is the reduction in errors. Here's a hard hit ball into center field, line drive over second baseman's head. That's Finn Connery over there. No chance to get that unless he was 6'7".
Yeah, no.
So we have a leadoff single here with no outs.
Yep. Pulls back the bunt there, pitch low in the dirt. Ball 1. Yeah, good strong hit there by the second baseman, Eric Johnson.
Now we have Connor Riley at bat.
Jerry Grunbaum checks the runner over there at first.
1 ball, no strikes. That's in there for a strike.
Got a piece of it?
Yep, he laid down a bunt, but the bunt went foul very quickly. Looks like it would have been a nice bunt if.
Yeah. Well, probably a good decision there by Luke to get to it quickly and pick it up before it came back fair.
Well, 1 ball, 2 strikes. He won't be bunting.
That's a good offside pitch, and he fools him.
Yeah.
Strike 3. That's a good out. I mean, you got to get that out of the 9-hole hitter there.
All right, so now we're back to top of the order.
Yep.
Doug Walton at bat. That's righty. Ball's down, gets by. Ball was very low. Just got by Luke O'Brien back there, which allows Johnson to advance to second base.
Yeah, tough ball as a catcher right there, George. A lot of guys you're looking to get you as a catcher. You're looking to get your thumb underneath the ball there, but you get into a position where you're somewhat in between. Where am I going to be able to get under it? Do I have to move the body over, turn the glove over, and get a block on it, and just gets away from them.
Especially those breaking balls. If it's got a good break on it, sometimes it's hard to know just exactly where it's going to be.
Yeah.
That ball's hard hit on the ground. Nice play by Michael Schreiber to get the out at first base, but the runner advances to third. So good job by the hitter to get the runner over to third base. But 2 outs.
Good range there by Schreiber. Good pickup, good transition. Tough play to make. Another ball on the ground here, and that's the stuff that Jared Grunbaum will get you there, George. Low pitches in the zone. They're not overly powerful. They entice the batter into a swing, and he gets him to roll over to the third baseman there.
Yeah, and a nice play by Devin O'Brien. Just took the ball up, took a couple of steps, took his time, knew he had time to get the ball, and threw a strike to first base.
Absolutely.
And got the out. Not worried about, obviously not worried about the guy on third. Oh, that's the end of 3 innings.
Yep.
And we're still 0-0. This could come down to a 1-run game, or maybe when the starting pitchers jump out of.
Yep.
If they face different different pitchers, we'll see. But so far, it's been a pitcher's game.
Yep. Ashland put some runners on last inning, so you've got Peyton Young, who's at 30 pitches now. That's not a bad pace. So we could see him for a few innings. He's back out there on the mound as the Hawks warm up in the field.
But John, what do you think? So we have the Blackhawk baseball roster in front of us. And we have 3 captains on the team.
Yep.
I don't think Ashland is named captains.
Yeah.
How do you? I know you coach hockey, you coach baseball.
Yeah.
Does that matter?
Well, I think what Ashland has done is they've got a couple of seniors as captain, a couple of juniors as captain, and you like to maybe get a couple of guys in there, George, and you like to get a couple of guys who are not just going to be, you do need, I would say maybe like an alpha guy whose voice is going to carry, but you also need a couple of guys, baseball guys who can, the way they take the field, the way they come to the plate with a purpose, they're able to lead by example and lead by the play and lead with the character, the culture that the coach is trying to, instill in the players and instill in the club. So I think it is important to have a captain, but not just because you have it's not whether you have a C on your jersey. It doesn't necessarily mean that that dictates whether you are or you are not a leader on the team,
right.
If you know what I mean.
Right. Anybody can step up.
Exactly. And you can
everybody
see.
has to.
Yeah. And, to Ashland's benefit, you've got a lot of everyday players who are not necessarily, that senior, big dog, captain type you would think of, that these guys come out day in and day out, and they do that. They display the right way to go about the game, the right approach at the plate, the right approach on the mound, and so I think that's starting to play out through the season. In parlays with our discussion of how this team has gone from 0 from 3 now, and 500 in the last 8 games. So
yeah.
Yep.
All right, so we got Luke O'Brien at bat, the catcher. He's 2-2 now to Luke. And that's strike 3. All right, one down here at the bottom of the 3rd inning. And back to the top of the order with Chris Bradica. Sprecher struck out his first time up. I think he's looking to get even here. Gets the bat on it for a foul back over the fence.
Yeah, first pitch swing in there, George. So we'll see how this goes. He's a little bit more patient his first at bat, and that's one of his strengths, is being able to work a picture. But he's also the ability to be aggressive, and doesn't like that one on the inside corner. He's going to let it go, but he's going to let it go strike 2.
0-2. Another foul.
Off speed there, he's ahead of it.
And that ball's high.
Yeah.
You talk about the cat and mouse game between the pitcher and the batter. A lot of pitchers are very focused on first pitch strike. It's a huge stat. And if you get the batter in there looking to hit early, the pitcher, generally speaking, wants to get that first pitch strike. So it kind of makes sense to be on the attack.
Yep. And he grooves. Just seeing Peyton through these first 2.5 innings.
That ball is well hit into right field.
Right back down here to us. He's going to try for 2. He's got his
2. I think he's going to have it.
He's in there sliding head first.
Yep, he gets it.
Yep, that's a mistake that Peyton probably wants back. He was giving him, breaking balls in the zone and fastballs out of the zone, and he kind of grooved on there. And Chris just got all of it right over the first baseman's head and able to hustle double there.
It's far enough over into the right field corner, right in front of us. The right fielder really had to move over quite a bit to get to that ball.
Yeah, almost to us, George. Almost at, dead air in the corner. Douglas Walton hustling over to make it, but not in time.
I think because he was kind of going in the wrong direction, it was hard for him to turn around and get that ball all the way back to second base. So it's a nice double there by Chris Bradica. Now we got Ollie LaRoe up at the plate.
Yeah, one on. Man in scoring position. Hard driven ball right there, right up the middle. That's going to get Chris around third. He's going to hold up there.
Hold up at third. Nice single by Ollie LaRoe.
Yep, moves the guy over. Ashland's in play here now. Runners at the corners. So let's see what we can do.
Only one out.
Yep.
Ollie's pretty quick. You expect a steal to be on here?
We'll see what happens. He does have a healthy lead. I think Coach will make the call.
Devin O'Brien up at bat takes the first pitch for a ball.
I think they'll at least try to minimize the opportunity for a double play. I mean, if we can get a ball in play here, George, you would expect Bradica to be able to score. There goes Ollie. Devin's under it.
So we'll hit ball. Got the right fielder tracking in, and he played that ball so well that he slowed down, made sure as he caught it he had forward momentum to be able to make that throw. I mean, that was a smart play.
Yep. Tough one. Hit and run right there into a kind of a line drive fly out there to left field, but another aggressive call there by Coach Messer. Let's see if they let him take second here.
2 outs. We got Michael Schreiber up at bat. He takes first strike. Rowe has a healthy lead again. And he goes. Schreiber takes that for a strike.
Yeah, so as expected, they're going to let him take second with 2 outs. No throw down. He's got 2 runners here, George, in scoring position. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah. No balls, 2 strikes. And there's a foul. John, I didn't see the last game, but I thought that the game ended with a throw down the second base on a caught steal.
Yeah, delay steal situation. Likewise, I wasn't at the game, but I think that's one that Coach Messer wants back. You don't want a
Yeah, that's a strikeout.
Yeah, there's a strikeout there. You don't want to end a game like that on the base pass. With I think at the time you had Chris Bradica, you had LaRoe, you had the top of the order anyway. Although albeit with 2 outs. You just don't want to make that out there. So trying to create something where something wasn't, and I just part of our discussion with him earlier today. He did bring up the Medway game and how he wants that one back. Yeah. He wants that one back for sure.
Yeah. Well, here we are at the end of the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
Let's see how many pitches is Grunbaum at here.
Got him at 36, George.
36. That's pretty good.
Pretty efficient. Yep. 12 an inning. Had a quick couple innings there. Yep.
12 pitches an inning. That's actually very good for a pitcher.
Yeah. Yeah, talking with Coach Messer before the game. Again, Jared Grunbaum, another one of these, underclassmen who's able to do a lot of give the team a lot of time. He's able to do it on the mound, eat a lot of innings. He's hoping to take him, use him. There's a couple of guys that he goes to, that Coach Messer will go to consistently, that are ready to go. But definitely want to see Grunbaum go deep, not just because of the pitcher, George, but what that's going to indicate if we're able to use him into the 5th inning. It means that we're clean defensively.
Yep.
And that's the part of the turning the corner and getting the train rolling and getting some momentum through the season.
That ball's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jared's pretty accurate there. He gets his strikes, then he tries to paint the corners. It's a high fly ball.
What a catch.
What a catch.
Yeah, that's Aiden Cowan right there. Tough one. Now, so he's right-handed, and he's going over his right shoulder to make that play, and he actually has to leave his feet to make sure he has full grip on it, and not an easy play, but he gets it done.
A great catch by Aiden Cowan. Like you said, he had a great break on the ball,
Yep.
running backwards
Yep.
over the opposite shoulder. That's a fantastic catch.
Absolutely, absolutely.
He probably learned it from you, back when he was playing Little League.
That's right, with the 10-year-old Reds team over at the minor field at Grinsell. I believe they had a decent year that year, George, if I recall correctly.
And he used to do the over the shoulder running backwards catch drills.
That's right. I think we called it Pop Fly Derby. Yep.
All right, let's go. We got Colin Sherman at bat. There's a strike. The count is now 3-2. Got a full count here.
Yep. He's headed down to first base a little bit early. You never want to see that. Yeah.
Fouls one off.
And Jared makes him continue to work here, so. Yeah, definitely saving a double, if not a triple there.
Hard hit on the ground to Devin O'Brien. Easy play to first base. Nice throw for the out.
Good defense right here today so far for Ashland.
All right, 2 outs here. Top of the 4th inning. Brock Barry up at bat.
No, shortstop. Yep, he's got good numbers offensively, George. A couple of guys that Coach TJ mentioned to us. Obviously, pitcher Peyton. He brought up Brock. He brought up the catcher John Sullivan. A good two-sport athlete there.
Yeah, Brock has he's the highest batting average on the team. Although he's at 2-1 now. And that's in there for a strike. Yeah, Grunbaum has thrown a great mix of fastballs and off-speed stuff. There's another. They caught him on that.
Oh, he just buckled him, George.
He just did.
It's kind of here.
He had the fastball in the previous strike, and then broke his ankles on that one.
That's one of their top hitters. That's one of their top baseball players there, and he's going to hear it from his boys when he gets back to the dugout. But to your point, it's not. It's a great execution there by Jared.
Yeah, Jared's really. He had a little trouble the first game or two, but I think some people play better in the cold weather than others. We definitely had some horrific weather especially to be a pitcher.
Oh yeah.
But this is a nice warm day, and get loose, and you just throw your balls and enjoy it.
Ball flies to the air a little bit easier. Your plays are a little bit easier to see, cleaner to make.
A couple of spectators showing. It's funny. The one thing I've unfortunately noticed at these games is we don't get a lot of high school kids or kids showing up at the games. Some of the other. In previous years, I've seen a lot more show up, and certainly for the other sports, you get a huge turnout for the games. But we have mostly parents.
It takes a little while, If I recall correctly, you'll get into May, and you'll see a few more of the guys and girls show up and support the team. We had a few there on, I want to say Monday.
Nice.
Watching the game.
Not the diehard fans like you who go
Yeah.
go out in below freezing weather, standing in the cold hockey rinks.
Yeah. Yeah. I was after that Grafton game, the 35-degree game. I said I don't think I've been that cold since hockey season. Our playoff games down at the rink in Franklin.
It's a hard hit ball to the shortstop. Low throw to first base, but good job by the first baseman. Is that Soderberg?
That's Soderberg. Yeah, not quite the swing he wanted to put on it. A little bit defensive swing there, and Brock scoops it up and sends it over to first for the out.
That brings up Ian. That's high hit ball to the right fielder who tracks it down easily, gets under it.
Yeah.
It's Doug Walton out there.
Yep. He's made a few good catches out here today, right in front of us here in right field.
Yeah. He's also had a uncatchable ball, so I'm sure he appreciates those balls getting hit right to him.
Yeah.
Aiden Cowan at bat. Takes the first pitch for a strike.
Yep.
Peyton Young's up to 51 pitches now, which isn't terrible. Hard hit ground ball to the shortstop, picks it up. Nice throw to first base. Cowan was moving down that base path. I mean, that was unbelievable hustle.
Yeah, just can't beat it out.
No, you can't. You're right. But that's that's the way you have to run them, right?
Yeah, I think we've got ourselves a official pitching duel here, George.
I think it's turned into it.
Definitely Peyton has got to appreciate that short half inning.
Yeah. But so far, I think Ashland has had 3 hits, and Bellingham has had 1 hit.
Yep.
I think both pitches have 3 strikeouts. Obviously, there's no runs, so.
Yeah, no, Ashland's left a couple of guys on base, probably about 3 or 4 guys total. Bellingham has left a guy or 2 on base, but relatively clean game from the mound here by both teams, and we expected that. We expected both of these teams are coming in. They're not, as we said, the strongest teams in their divisions, in their league, so they're coming in here attitude-wise that this is a game for us. This is a game we can make a difference in our season with. So you can see it in the way the pitchers are approaching the game. You can see it the way the defense is approaching the game. We've already seen a couple of diving plays, both teams. That word, compete, and that's where it comes. That's where it plays out in the game. George is, that extra effort to give yourself a chance.
Yep. First pitch, ground ball to Devin O'Brien over at third base. Easy throw to first for the out. Those kinds of plays are great for your pitch count.
Absolutely. And a good play there by Devin on the high hop.
Yeah, you attack the ball.
Right through it,
first pitch strike.
Yeah, right through it there. It's a DH, Irusi.
Brady Irusi, who's a freshman. Flies out to left field. Quickly have 2 away. Derek Johnson up at bat.
Oh, a good catch there by Ian out there in left.
One ball, no strikes. That's high. Another ball. That one gets in there for a strike. Looks like Eric was taking all the way.
Ooh.
A little dribbler.
Close play there at first.
Did he?
He's calling him out.
He's calling him out.
What a great play.
Signal.
He did not. We had Jared covering first, and then Chris coming and make the flip. No signal there, but oh geez, I think you got to give the tie to the defense on that one when you see that kind of play.
Yeah.
And you know, so listen, maybe Eric Johnson is not the biggest stature guy on the Hawks roster, but he was hustling down the line. So real close play there. That was a beauty.
Yeah, that was a great play. Again, if we don't have the angle, the umpire's on top of it, but it looked like he got there.
Yeah.
But I think the umpire was literally on top of the base, so you know, he saw what really happened, and it's an amazing play by Ashland to be able to turn that.
Yeah. Well, it all starts with that pitch from Jared. I mean, he just fooled Eric on that one. So I mean, that's a deep bunt on a half swing, which is what's happening there to create that space. That's probably an infield hit, just for the confluence of events in that just one single play. But the hustle for Jared, and Jared starts off going for the ball, but the ability to pivot and cover first, and for Chris to come over, back him up, and make the flip. Beautiful baseball right there.
Yeah. I think a lot of it was that Jared didn't want to get run over by Chris, which I wouldn't want to be run over by Chris either.
No. Yeah, he's Jared's thickened up over the years, but he's not quite where Chris is at stature-wise. So
no. Yeah, that would have been kind of a tragic event. We're bottom of the fifth inning now. Finn Connery at bat.
Yep.
1 ball, no strikes. And let's take that high for a ball. Peyton's still throwing some heat out there.
Yeah, Peyton sensing the bottom half of the order here, and trying to overpower batters here. Finn being patient here.
Got 3 balls, no strikes. Finn shows bunt, although like everybody knew he wasn't going to bunt. 3 balls, 1 strike. Hard hit ball that gets through the infield.
He's going to turn it, George.
He's going to turn it. He's
in there standing up.
It's good speed. Taking advantage of the inconsistent grass length in the Ashland High School outfield that either ties up the ball or lets it skid all the way out to the fence.
Yeah, putting a hard ball through the 5-6 gap there between the third baseman and the shortstop, and showing a little bit of athleticism there with the foot speed to get there to second standing up.
Yeah, he was flying. That's a good double. They'll go to the Brigettes.
Yep. And again, Ashland runner in scoring position here early in the inning.
Yeah, with no outs, and Luke O'Brien up at bat. Luke goes to bunt, and ball goes outside, but because Luke was squared to bunt, he's getting called a strike.
Yeah, tough to see what read over there for if coach was wanting Finn to get down to third there, or Luke was committed to the pitch. Squares again, pulls it back, ball's outside.
Yep. 1-1. pitchers do it like this. Just, you know, each of the coaches just wants to get one run on the board. Pops that one up. Foul. Yeah, Peyton Young throws hard. He's going to be a tough guy to bunt off.
Yeah.
Now we have 1 ball, 2 strikes, so the bunt signal will be called off.
Yeah, definitely throwing more fastballs this end of the order.
Luke takes that one for a ball.
Split, yeah, looks like a slider there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second. Young steps off the mound. That one's high. We're starting to finally hear a lot of chatter from the Ashland bench, and
yeah, they sense it. They sense it here.
they do.
This is a chance, and they gotta battle here for one.
Full count.
And he rings him up.
Rings him up. That was caught the very bottom of the strike zone on that one.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Luke doesn't agree with you, but if it did catch it, it was right there at the knee, and that's a good battle there. It's a good battle at the plate. Not the result that I want. And with the third time through, they're gonna give Chris first base and give themselves a double play opportunity here and stay away from Bradica, who really ripped the ball there, and I want to say it was the 3rd inning.
Brings up LaRoe, who asked for a timeout. All right, so we have 1 out. Runners on first and second after the intentional walk on Chris Bradica. Sure, Chris will take it, but I know you probably want to be up there swinging.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That ball's high.
So we'll see if Peyton can make the adjustment. So we've seen him, try to attack the players at the bottom of the order with a lot more fastballs. The guys up here at the top of the order, he's trying to fool them or give them a breaking ball. Another one that goes high, so he's got a 2-0 to LaRoe here. See if he can pitch through this situation. 2 runners on with an out.
These 3 balls in a row. That's uncharacteristic of Peyton.
Yeah. You're talking about a guy who's been out there for 4.5 innings so far. He's close to 70 pitches. Trying to find a spot where he can find the plate on a breaking ball and not groove a fastball to this kid here. He does.
Hard hit on the ground. Second, he can't get the runner at first. Smart play not to throw that ball and take a chance of overthrowing. But
yeah, you got another chance, George. To your point. Yep.
So fielder's choice to the shortstop, out at second base. Now we have runners on first and third.
Yeah, it's kind of similar situation. We saw this early in the game with Finn on. I don't think it was Finn on third. Ollie at first. 2 outs. See what happens here.
I got Devin O'Brien, senior, up at the plate. Takes the first pitch high for a ball. 2 outs. LaRoe goes. I don't know if the catcher was going to go for it, but he lost the ball in the transition.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have thrown.
I give that, well, we'll see how they scored in the, I don't know about you, George. I'm barely able to broadcast the game, never mind do the book. So we'll leave the scorekeeping to someone who can determine whether that's a stolen base or defensive indifference.
Right. So it depends on whose dad is doing game change.
That's right. Well, I slipped Mr. Grunbaum a 50 on the way past him there earlier, so I'm pretty sure that's a stolen base.
Ooh, that gets called for a style, like a little low and outside from here.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure it was the right call. We have two balls, one strike, or 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at second and third. Hard hit ground ball. That gets through the gap. That's going to score 2.
Second on the throw. Pay attention. Oh, he's got him there if he back picks him. What do you say? Wow.
Nice job. Devin O'Brien rips a single right up the middle, right over second base. Center field did a good job getting on it. Had a really good, accurate throw to the plate. I think if he, a little bit harder, he would have actually had the runner on that throw.
Yeah, Ryan Visconti is probably a victim of, 2 outs and the, there's already a runner at third. So LaRoe is well on his way home by the time that Ryan gets that ball.
Right.
There goes Devin. There's a throw. Not in time.
No.
That's good hustle. And there's the compete. There's the hustle there, George.
Yeah, that was a good steal.
See what they can do to keep the offense moving here in the bottom of the 5th. Ashland finally able to get guys out of scoring position and back home.
There's a foul ball, so it'll be 1-1 to Schreiber. Yeah, bottom of the 5th inning, get 2 outs, runner on second, 1 ball, 1 strike. And that ball's outside. Hard, throwing hard. That was actually called a strike.
Peyton now close to 80 pitches.
Yeah, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Schreiber.
Yep.
Schreiber gets a hold of
ball.
that one.
He absolutely rips that, but it's going to be foul.
That's over the fence, yeah. That was a well-hit ball. Baseball is one of those sports we keep saying, I bet you wish you had that one back to adjust, just a little bit of the angle.
Yeah, yep.
The wind's picking up here.
It is, yeah.
I think it's blowing left to right from the batter. That's a nice hard hit ground ball into
Brock Barry, who scoops it up. Yeah. Yeah, that's Michael Schreiber. He's a dead pull hitter there. Another hard-driven ball, but Bellingham showing a little bit of their defense there at shortstop.
Well, Ashland was able to put 2 runs on the board here.
There we go.
Nice hitting by Devin O'Brien to drive in 2 runs with that hard hit single.
Yeah, good diligence, and it's a little bit of, we talked about Peyton Young and his ability as a pitcher, and I think what you get sometimes is you've got a third time through the order, and he just didn't get through that top of the order on that one there, George. Probably wants a couple of those pitchers back. But, Ashland has had a couple of runners in scoring position. It was only kind of a matter of time before they're going to bring them around with the way they've been executing here today at the plate.
Yeah. Bellingham has a pitcher warming up over on the side here, so see what they do with.
Yeah, it looks like Connor Riley, their left fielder, is getting some throws in. So we'll see. We'll look for that at the bottom of the 6th there. See if Coach Cipollone makes a change.
Yeah. Grumbaum's up at 59 pitches. So Jared Just, first one that drops in there for a base hit. It's just a little blooper.
Yep.
Right in between where the second baseman can get to and the center fielder can get to.
Yep. Yeah, you neither Aiden Cowan or Oliver LaRoe able to get to that ball.
No, I don't even think you could have got to it.
Well, George, I appreciate,
I mean, I set the bar of play with what I think you could do.
Yes. Yeah.
What would John do?
Yes, it was not a catchable ball. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if anybody could have, I'd have been there. But
Yeah, that's exactly.
I will say though, it's one of as a baseball player and an outfielder, I caught and played outfield, but there's nothing like full run and dive and catch, in the outfield. It's very exhilarating. So it's something you kind of, I mean, you want nice easy balls, hit right to you, in terms of winning and trying to win a game. But if you're in the outfield, you wait for those and to try to execute on those plays. Yep.
Well, those are the ones you remember. You don't
Yep.
remember that ball that just came right to you.
Yeah, right.
There's a little dribble that was
Oh, geez.
tough for Jared to pick up, but he stayed on it, picked it up, and got the out at first base, advancing Riley over to second.
Yeah, I want to say that's Douglas Walton making
It was.
that hit, and I don't know if there's something that held him up out of the box, but
You're right. If he didn't get the jump, oh geez.
he did not get the jump down the line that we'd expect of him. We've got loose ball from the makeshift bullpen that we've that the Hawks have created out here.
All right, Visconti.
Now I'm looking at it. I think that's Visconti here.
Visconti at bat takes the first strike. First pitch for a strike. Hard hit ball to Devin O'Brien, who does a great job of looking down the runner at second base, preventing him from going to third, and then gets back and gets the runner out at first. Was he an intentional walk here, John?
Seems to be. That's Sullivan, the catcher. He's one of their top guys. Coach TJ's had good things to say about him, the way he plays the game, and the way he's a leader for the other guys on the team.
All right, so we got runners at first and second. 2 outs. Sherman at bat. Takes for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Jared's still dealing. He's close to 70, but he's a quick, efficient pitcher, George. Not a lot of motion. Not a lot of wasted movement. Just gets up there, throws, executes.
Yep.
Trusts his fielders to make plays. Keeps balls down in the zone. Guy who can really eat up innings for you. Oh, he's got another ball. Ball on the outside corner there, called strike. That's just good execution right there.
It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one's high. Full count now. All right.
Colin Sherman
2
battling
outs.
here.
Yeah, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Full count.
Oh, ball gets away.
And that ball gets away down and low for a walk.
Yeah.
I don't think Jared's had many walks this game.
Nope.
I don't really even recall. I'm sure he has. I don't recall any. Now we have the bases loaded.
That's his 3rd walk. and see what coach is thinking over there. It's top of the sixth. No one's in the pen.
That ball's high.
I think he's looking to get out of this inning, and either that or he's got a guy in mind to replace Jared that's already in the field there. Good cut right there. Bring it 1-1.
1-1, number 5 batter, Barry.
Yep. One of their highest batting average guys.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy Bellingham wants to hell up right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's high. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bases loaded. 2 outs.
Yep.
Top of the 5th inning here. Or 6th inning, I'm sorry. Oh, he gets called a strike on that. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yep. He's battling. And he plays a lot of baseball. He knows the situation. Tries to get a swing on a fastball up in the zone and doesn't get it. Brings it full.
Yeah, it's an exciting situation in baseball. Full count with bases loaded and 2 outs.
Runner's going. He's got him. And
No.
he walks him in.
That's just inside for a walk.
Looks good from here, George. You
Yeah, it
know,
looked great
but,
from here.
Tough one here. Now we're going to see Coach Mess. See if he's going to confer with him or if he's going to make a switch now.
Little mound meeting. Yeah, psychologically, for a pitcher with bases loaded,
Yep.
it's not the situation you want to be in.
No.
And and it's tough because you don't want to put a pitch down the middle for the batter to hit, and you start to move around to the corners. But then if you're not accurate with it, you're getting you don't want to walk either because
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
a walk with nobody on is one thing, but a walk with the bases loaded is.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably part of bringing not just coach talking to him, but bringing the infield in. Just give him the confidence. Hey, we're right behind you. If you can get something in the dirt here, we're right behind you. We'll get the out with you. Don't
Yep.
You're not out here on an island. I mean, it just feels that way sometimes. It's a pitcher that, geez, like the whole situation is resting on your shoulders, and it's tough to get past that moment. And Jared has been able to do that, and put challenging pitches to the plate, where either getting called strikes or getting swings. So let's see if he can do that here in the top of the 6th. Foul tip.
It was a nice throw. He was down 2 balls, no strikes. Now he's got him 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yep.
The lefty batter up here, Fantini.
Yeah, this is the first baseman. Another foul back.
Foul back. So now we're at 2-2.
I mean, none of these at-bats have really been, I think, of his walks, he's maybe, a couple of 5 or 6 pitch walks, but these have all been, oh, that's a breaking ball. He doesn't get it. Oh, George.
Now we have a full
That's a
count.
good pitch right there.
Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded.
Yeah, he's battled at every with every batter. There it is. He's got it in the air.
That's in the air.
That's Ollie. Diving catch.
Diving catch
No
by
problem.
Ollie Leroux. Beautiful
This is
catch.
good communication right there.
So, is that Schreiber coming out?
That's
no, that was
Finn Connery
that was Finn, yeah.
and Aiden Cowan kind of converging all on the ball, and just having good communication and know who's going to take that ball.
Yeah, and Ollie had the right beat on it. He was certainly in the right position to come in on it. I think he got a good jump on it.
Oh, geez, if Finn is able to make that catch over the opposite shoulder going back, I mean, we got to, yeah.
Again, if it was on you on second, I'd say, well, then,
of course, yes.
that's the way we go. But but in the real world, I think the center fielder has to take that one.
That's the story of the game so far, George. I mean, more than a few diving plays. In the outfield there with Ian, with Ollie, with Aiden, the scoop and throws in the infield, the fielding by the pitcher, and that's what saved them.
Yeah.
Get out of that situation there. It's a tough one for Jared. He's up over 70 pitches, but he doesn't cower. He's just throwing his pitches that he knows how to throw, and relying on a 9 instead of 1 player to get an out, and that's a success. That's how successful teams operate. At this level.
All right, so as we go to the bottom of the 6th here with Ashland ahead 2-1. Of course, they want to get some more runs on the board.
Yeah.
As Bellingham will get up at the top of the 7th to
That's right.
at least try to tie this thing up.
Yeah. Yeah, you're middle of the order here. You're expecting Soderberg, McGann, and Cowan. See what they can do. Soderberg 0 for 2 for the day.
Peyton's staying in there. I don't know what his pitch count is, but he wants this game.
Yeah, he's just short of 80. He's 79.
Okay.
And I think coach trusts him. He's a top guy. He's got strength in that arm. He's probably got a few more in him as well. Just talking with Coach, he's probably managing the bullpen a little bit too. You know what I mean?
It's a ground ball right to the first baseman.
Yeah. Another tough one for Soda there.
Yeah. And it hit the grass, took a lot off it, and it was. I think I could have fielded that.
George, you don't discount yourself. We've done many infield practices. So listen, you can handle tougher balls than that.
Well, thank you. Our ball's floating foul. And up here, so we got 1 out.
Looks like Coach Mess has one up there in the bullpen.
Yeah. Looks like a lefty. Another ground ball to first base. That's one of the exact same play as the last one.
Yep. Yeah, that's his off-speed stuff right there, George. To get the foot down early and a weak swing through the ball.
Yeah. Aiden Cowan at bat now, looking to make something happen here.
Yep.
That ball's sky high. Third baseman got a track on it coming in.
Nice quick half
Makes
inning
the
right
catch,
there. Yeah.
That's exactly what Peyton Young wanted.
Yep.
It might have been a 6-7 pitch inning.
Yeah. Yep.
Allow him to potentially come back out.
Yeah, that's actually 4 pitches for that inning. That's, geez, you can't pay for that. You know what I mean?
So Ashland's 3 outs away from. This is a win we kind of would expect Ashland to win against, kind of a weaker Division IV team. I think it'd be more surprising if they didn't win, but.
Yep.
But it's important to get the wins. You can't take your foot off the pedal and kind of coast and let these games get away from you. So they've done a good job of staying serious, staying sharp, and taking the game seriously, even though they're facing a team with 1 win, 10 losses, and kind of a division down from them. They've taken it seriously and they've played very good base. I don't think they've had an error.
No. They've played a clean game defensively, and I think, whatever happens, they put into the game what Coach wanted to in terms of the effort level, in terms of the execution. It's, nothing's guaranteed here, so we've got another 3 outs to get defensively. They've got another 3 outs offensively if it doesn't work on the top half of the inning. But you're right. They should be able to win this. I think Coach Mesa here is going to Bradica and expecting. Is that Bradica?
It is, yeah. Having the best pitcher in your team come in for 3 outs of relief.
Yep.
I think Bradica just pitched on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to have him come in and throw, hopefully, a dozen or so pitches.
Yeah.
The umpire's having a little chat with the coach.
Looks like a couple of changes here.
I don't know what happened here.
I'm going to switch things up.
If there was a problem putting Braddock, I think maybe based on a number of pitches or days that Braddock has had since his last outing, may have been an illegal move to put him in.
Yeah, they definitely got the umpire out here, and they're conferring. I can see a number of changes around the field here. It's still the left side of the infield stays the same. Looks like Finn Connery's moved back to right.
Is that, I don't know. Looks like Garley LaRoe is in
So now they're going to go to LaRoe.
to close out. So yeah, so there was definitely an issue that putting Braddock in had, and smart of the Bellingham coach to call it out. And if I was Bellingham, the last pitcher I'd want facing me would be Braddock.
Yeah, especially after, the confluence between a pitcher like Grunbaum and a pitcher like Braddock are definitely
Right.
Kind of a wily right-hander versus more of a overpowering and deceptive left-hander.
Although I think, I think Ollie he pitched relief last game and had a great outing.
Yep.
I wasn't there. You probably know more about it than I do for multiple reasons.
Yeah, I didn't see the full game. By the sounds of it, came in 3 innings, 2 1/3, 3 strikeouts. Coach Messer talked about that to us before the game, just giving the team what he'd kind of expected out of LaRoe for the whole season, and hadn't quite gotten. Ollie's been on the mound a few times for the team and hasn't had, I guess, the success that neither he nor the coaching staff is looking for. So
He's definitely a competitor. So when that happens, I think that makes him more determined to right the ship and do well. He's quickly behind 2 balls, no strikes. He's working pretty quickly up there. And that ball's outside.
he's got a strike there.
That's in there for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. And that's fouled off, battled back to a full count. The bottom of the order here, so this is kind of what you want when you're trying to close a game out. Oh.
Oop, hits him. Yep.
He took a little bit off that.
Yep, kind of aiming his pitch right there. Just amongst the changes here defensively, you got Jared coming out at pitcher, going to second base, moving Finn Connery back to right field.
And I think Aiden Cowan shifted over to left field.
Yep.
And that's in there for a strike.
Yeah, this is the bottom of the order, so that's probably, a difficult at bat to give up there to Iarussi. You got a pick there. He's okay. Checks him at first, and he's okay.
It's a nice move by LaRoe. He had me fooled on that one. It's a huge advantage for our left-handed pitchers.
Well, you got a pitcher over there too playing first base, and you often see that with LaRoe, Bradica covering first, or vice versa. With Bradica pitching and LaRoe at first,
Right.
they really get in sync and make good moves over there.
Goes over to first base again. One ball, one strike to Eric Johnson. First base again. Oh, a little shade going on here for a change.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
a terrible day, yeah. So cloudy.
Lays down a bunt.
Foul ball.
No, calls it foul. Jeez.
Yep.
Looked like a great bunt, but it just didn't quite get, maybe an inch or two forward for him.
Yeah, that's Eric Johnson at the plate, George, and he's shown a couple of he's good baseball plays, and that bunt right there was just one of them. Just kind of bounces off.
That
Foul
buggers.
on him,
Yeah.
So pitch way outside there, 2-2.
It almost looked like he squared to bunt again, which you don't expect with 2 strikes, but now he's got a full count.
Yep.
See what happens here. Runner at first, no out, full count. He does lay down a bunt.
Throw to second.
Nice
throw
job by
first.
LaRoe getting the lead. So he laid down the bunt. Unfortunately, he hit it much too hard and hit it
Yeah,
right to Ollie coming in on it.
Yeah, I think with 2 strikes there, it is uncommon. It's not unseen, but as a batter, you're really just trying to make sure that it gets in play. You're looking to push that ball in play so that you can get that runner over to second. I think he just kind of pushed it too much.
Yeah.
Yep. But Ashland not able to turn the 2, so you still have a guy on first here with 1 out. Throw right there, and he's got him.
He got him.
And that's exactly what we were talking about,
Wow.
George, is that communication, getting in sync as a pitcher, and it's almost like a second battery out there, being able to, know your pitcher and know his move. It gives you an advantage to pick a guy there at first. It just looks like Coach Giappone is not too happy about this. Just wants to talk it through with the umpire what he has seen. So I don't know. You remember that last time when that umpire changed his mind, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, me neither.
Yeah, I remember that well. It was back in 1904.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that the out stands, and now we're 1 out away now from a 2-1 victory here.
Yep.
With 1 ball, 1 strike. And it looks like that hit the batter.
Yep. He's got 2 hits, Batmans in 1 inning.
Now he has 2 baseballs.
Yeah, well,
He's got-
and for a guy who's going around beating people like he is, I give him less balls rather than
Exactly.
more. But
Yeah, the catcher Luke O'Brien
Yeah.
and the umpire threw him a ball right at the same time. It's a good thing one didn't hit him. Ground ball right to the second baseman. Grunbaum picks it up to first base, easy out, and that's the ball game.
Yep.
Excellent job, John, by Ashland. I mean, it's a 2-1 game. It's not, I think we would have liked to seen a lot more runs, but I think we had a couple of very good pitchers. And, Bellingham pitcher, Barry is certainly, one of the top pitchers in the Tri-Valley League. So to get a win with him on the mound, I think was, a huge victory for Ashland.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, he mentioned it to the before the game. Coach TJ did that. Peyton's their top guy, and he proved it. Even putting guys on in scoring position in the third, early in the game, they left Ashland runners stranded with his ability to get out of situations, with his ability to control the ball.
Yes.
Command the plate. So we definitely get benefit of seeing a good pitcher's duel here today on both sides.
Yeah,
You know, on the other side of the dugout, you know, Jared Grunbaum really able to just eat away innings, and use the 7 guys behind him to make plays, and that they did.
Yeah, good play all around. You know, I think I'll give the MVP to Devin O'Brien for that hard shot down the middle to score 2 runs.
Yes. Yeah.
To put him on the board. You know,
Yep.
2 outs. You're facing a very tough pitcher.
Yep.
And he just got the ball just right down the middle, and that's what they needed.
Yeah.
For the 2 runs.
Yeah, I mean, it goes to what Coach Messer's been trying to get out of these guys all season, and starting to come around, is that compete. And it's, you know, it's a vague term, maybe a cliche, but you can see the way Devin's going about his plate appearances. He's trying to hit a hard ball, difficult ball in play, and that's what he got out of that situation. First time through. His second at bat, he had a 1st and 3rd situation. He's swinging hard. He just gets under it, but it doesn't deter him from coming up the same situation there in the 5th and putting the ball through. Yep.
Right. Yeah. Every at bat's a new opportunity.
Yep.
You know, to make something happen. So
Yeah.
you know, you have to have a short memory in baseball, because it's, you know, it's a game of misses. So you got to forget what happened last time, and it's a whole new times, a
Yep.
whole new tries. So this, yeah, I think Coach was looking for to put a lot more runs on the board, to get the bats going more, to you know, score, especially on, you know, the Bellingham team. And they weren't able to do that, but you know, a win's a win.
Yeah.
And you said they were
Yeah.
facing a very tough pitcher, and I think things turned out as good as they could have.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we're the benefactors. We saw some good baseball here today, George. Yep.
We did. All right. With that being said, we're going to close it out here. Thank you for joining us today for Ashland Varsity Baseball, and we'll see you at an upcoming game.
Thank you.